We continue our team coverage of Tropical Storm Ida on Dauphin Island. That's where we find our April Douglas. April, what's the scene there?
Okay, Bob, well, I'm getting thrown around by these high winds. I have to admit, I spent an hour getting ready for the shot, in the car where it was nice and warm. And when I got back out, the surf had started to pick up again, and the rain had started to come down harder, and this wind has really started to pick up. Every now and then it feels like someone has actually taken a cup of water from right behind here and just thrown it on me. We've been down here since mid-afternoon. We were on the west end. Actually, right now we're across from Fort Gaines, but this afternoon we were on the west end where most of the roads have been covered with water. This morning, my colleague, Cherish Lombard, spent the day down here, and this is what she has to report.
Folks on Dauphin Island started feeling the effects from Ida early this morning. As the wind and waves grew, a few folks decided to get a closer look. But most people wanted to get as far away from the island as possible.
We have to be safe. Yeah, we have to go back home.
By 9:30 this morning, the west end of the Dauphin Island Causeway was already covered in water. John Hopkins and his wife had to drive through it.
We have several rental houses on the island. We live on the island ourselves, and we just making sure everything's safe and sound.
As the hours passed, the waves began to crash closer to the shoreline and too close to the houses there.
It's going to get a little bit worse, I believe.
Chip McNeil and his family have owned houses on Dauphin Island for 35 years, so they're no strangers to bad storms. That's why they spent the morning putting up hurricane panels. They're not taking any chances with Ida.
It's got to be too much of a headache worrying about what was going to happen, so we decided this was, all we could do. If we didn't do it, then we could regret it. I think we learned from Katrina that you never know what to expect.
Reporting from Dauphin Island, Cherish Lombard, Fox 10 News.
Now, during our time spent on the beaches of Dauphin Island, we saw folks out sightseeing earlier this afternoon. We talked to one Dauphin Island resident who wasn't going to leave. He said it's nothing more than a storm for him out walking the beach. But we've had a lot of folks come down here sightseeing, checking out all the huge whitecaps out here as the surf continues to pound these rocks. I can tell you, when it comes over these rocks hard enough, it really kind of stings. And the water is it's cold and it's rainy and it's wet and it's windy, all the things that you would imagine with the storm. But of course, we're still going to stay down here. We have something coming up for you at 5:30. But for right now, we're right across from Fort Gaines, where this part of the island, this road has been closed off. That's really the only thing that we've seen. So reporting live from Dauphin Island, April Douglas, Fox 10 News.
All right.